Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to another episode of South York's allotment. Just starting with a brew and I'll show you what I've got planned for the rest of this episode. I'm just in the shed at the moment and I'm just about to put some shallots into some pots. I usually like to plant these around about autumn time, but I didn't get around to it last year, for one reason or another. So what I'm going to do, because they're starting to show a bit of sign of growth now with the roots, some fresh growth, I'm going to pop them in some 4-inch pots just to get a good root system, and I'll probably plant them out middle to late March or something like that, maybe early April, depending on what the weather's like. So I've filled these pots up, just put a small depression into the middle, and what's going to happen is the shallot is just going to sit in there. It's quite soft, so you can push it down. I wouldn't advise it normally if the compost was quite firm, because you don't want to damage the basal plate on the bottom. And then just a case of topping it up with a little neck showing through there. That's all you really want to do, just show it around to the neck there. That'll be absolutely plenty, and then they can just develop a good root system, and then they're ready to go in. Thing is with shallots, they can sit there for weeks and months and doesn't seem to put any top growth on. It all is in the roots first, and then once that becomes established, then once the better, warmer weather comes, then they'll start to throw up some good growth. So I've got 2 varieties of shallots here. One of them is my own strain, which I've had for a long time. I think it's about 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. And these are the 5 that I'm potting up now. And then there is some others, Golden Gourmet, there to go in as well. And I picked these last year. Nice size onions. If there's any debris like this, just flick that off. Same with the neck, just take them off, it won't do any damage whatsoever. Just gets rid of any old waste and rubbish. And then again, I'll just fill these pots up. Make sure they're washed out first, in case there's any old pests or diseases from last year or year before whenever you last used them. Top them up with multi-purpose compost, and then just like I say, drop them in, and they can go into an unheated greenhouse. Just make sure it's frost free, so maybe put something like a couple of cloches over them, or a bit of fleece, something like that, and then they should be happily sat there developing a good root system ready for when they go out. Today is Tuesday the 2nd of February, and this is what we've woken up to today. A couple of inches of snow, so there's not much happening on the plot today. I've just nipped up just to feed the birds, top up the feeders, and I'm just going to head home now and sow some seeds. So after showing you the tomatoes that I've been sowing, this is a new variety to me, and it kind of like caught my eye being a different colour for a start, being yellow, and I thought I'd give it a try. I got it free in a magazine, so I thought, well, something as an alternative to the usual money makers and the cherry tomato varieties I grow, and it's this variety. It's an F1 variety called Ilda, and it's quite a high heavy cropper, and it's pear-shaped, cherry tomato type size, mouth-watering tangy sweet flavour. I don't know if anybody else has grown any previously. If you have, let me know in the comments below what your yields were like, what the tastes were like, etc. But it says each truss can bear 50 plus fruits, so that will be an interesting situation to find myself in. So with that bearing in mind, I'm only going to put 3 seeds in. I can't see the point in putting any more in, as I've never grown them before. I don't know what they're going to be like. I don't know the germination, the taste, etc, etc. So if I just do 3 initially, I've got another 2 years on my side here, 2023 to sow by, so there's 15 in the packet, and I will just sow 3, see what they come up like, and then take it from there at the end of the year. For these particular tomato types, as there's only 3 seeds going in, I've just used this yoghurt pot here, and they'll grow in there nicely until I need to prick them out and transplant them into their own single, bigger individual pots. I've just got some of the multi-purpose compost. I've made 3 small indentations in the top of the soil there, just sat a seed in, and then I'll just lightly cover the seeds up with soil. I'll pop them in my heated propagator until I start to see signs of life, and then I'll just whip the lid off, and then I know they're germinated, and then they can just slowly carry on growing away until they're ready to be transplanted back out. So another job I've just got on with is cleaning the greenhouse inside and out. As you can see, it looks really nice and clean now, and I've also set up the 5-tiered structure inside, and that's going to be for all the pots and seed trays to sit on. Hopefully give them a good head start and keep them out of the way of the frost. They'll probably be housing stuff like the broad beans, sweet peas to start with in February, and then as we come into March, end of March, early April, it'll be things like the pumpkins, courgettes, squashes, all other bits and pieces really. I have been hardening some other things off at home because we have had a couple of nice warm days, so I will look to be then bringing those down here, and at least as the days are getting longer they'll be getting better light, not become as leggy, and they'll start to grow on their own accord and hopefully develop into nice strong healthy plants. So next job on the list is to do this gooseberry. I'm just going to give it a clip now before springtime, and this is a before clip of what it looks like, and I'll bring you footage of what it's done looks like when I've finished it. So then here we go, and this is a result of the clipping. I know it's a bit darker, it's like 5:10 at the moment, so you might not be able to appreciate it, but it's kind of like the effect you're going up for is like an upside down umbrella type, so everything needs to grow upwards in kind of like a, you know, like a hand type thing, and everything then grows out the top. So I've been in a couple of tips to make sure you wear some good gloves, because it is very, very spiky if you've got gooseberries. Trying to create that upside down umbrella look so everything trails and nice and in keeping with the shape, and also make sure if there's any crossing branches or any decayed brown, old ones, dead ones, get rid of them all. Don't keep them on. Anything what's crisscrossing, again, key is once it starts fruiting to get as much air and circulation in and around the bush. So hopefully this trim will give it the world of good and I'll reap the benefits in summertime. The broad beans are now in. This is my own strain which I saved from last year. It's Bunyard's exhibition, and I've planted 24 in this tray. I've basically just popped them on the side, dropped one in each station, covered them over, and then just filled this water trough reservoir about an inch with water, and plonk the tray back in, and hopefully leave them to their own devices now. We're not predicted any frosts in the near future, so hopefully they should take care of themselves and we should see germination within a week or so. This will be tomorrow's task, sowing the sweet peas. These are seeds from my own strain from last year and the previous year. Put on a lovely floral display, and I was really happy with the colours I got. So what I usually do is just give them a soaking overnight, just so it softens the skins a bit, and then I'll be ready for sowing them tomorrow. Right then, just going on from last night's little snippet on these sweet peas. They'd soaked overnight and they've actually swollen probably a good double in size, so to speak. So as you can see, these are in the 2 by 2 inch cell trays, and I'm putting 2 seeds in each station, which will give me 10 in a row, so 20 in total in each punnet, which will give me 60 seeds. I'll have some for myself, but then I'll give some to the family as well. And just a nice little simple task again, just pop it down, just probably halfway up your thumbnail, and then they can again stay on this staging tray and germinate as and when. So hopefully this decent weather continues, what we are now having after all the snow and the bad weather. Totally different to the picture that I've shown you and attached to this video earlier on. Everything's all gone now, the snow, the frosts. We haven't had frost now for a week. So just goes to show you typical British weather. Nice one week. Sorry, poor one week, nice next week, but it's just typical gardeners. We're all like that, aren't we? We always want the best. So there we go, that's it for all the seed sowings then. I'll show you what I've been doing on the plot before I head off. Well, I've made a start on clearing this half potato, half runner bean bed. As you can see, there is a bit of maintenance to be done with the timber framework. I've only done really a metre by a metre, and I've near enough got a bag bindweed and all sorts of rubbish in there, so I've got to really thoroughly go in there and dig it. I'll probably have to do it 2 or 3 times, but if I start it now then do a bit each evening if I can get down here. It'll soon be done in no time. So that's it for this episode then. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.